bench has cleared. Here comes the Blue Claws bench. They're all running down, congregating behind the bag at first base in foul territory.
This minor league bench clearing actually was 2 separate bench clearing events over the course of 2 games. Here's game 1.
They throw behind the runner at second. This time they got him picked off. Saltamon running Serrano towards third. Throws to Ware, who chases him back towards second.
Brooklyn and Jersey Shore 7-5. It's a pickoff play and a pickle at second.
Back towards second. Throws to the pitcher covering, or throws to a Saltamon covering, who plows over the runner. It's picked up by...
The play results in a hard collision at second base, which is going to bring both benches out.
The Brooklyn bench empties a little bit. They're on the third baseline. Greg Brodzinski's going out. The manager getting Serrano out of there.
Protocol: if a bench clearing fight develops, umpires let the teams break it up while standing back, observing and identifying offenders. Now, this is a particular it's not even a fight. The only thing that resulted was a managerial argument.
Not happy. He's talking to the home plate umpire.
But after any bench clearing, the umpires will get together and take whatever action they deem necessary, if any ejections, warnings, or maybe nothing at all. They walk back to the manager and have a conference.
Ware was chasing the runner back to second, and Serrano just plowed over.
Umpires will consider if anyone participated or instigated a fight, if so ejection, but also whether the teams were simply unsporting in a way that should be addressed with warnings. Was the initial collision malicious, or just a baseball play where the collision itself was unavoidable? How about that fielder's throwdown of the runner?
The 2 umpires are talking it over.
Also, bear in mind, this is high A at that level. It's just 2 umpires, making game management a little bit more tricky.
We're going to tell them they're going to give them a couple warm-ups. Both benches have been warned, and no players have been ejected from the best we can tell.
Recall Rule 602C9 doesn't just apply to intentionally pitching at batters. Warnings can be issued at any time.
And now Greg Brodzinski coming back out. His, I believe, 3rd visit to the field today. And second of this.
Remember, asking about a warning is fine. Arguing it is not. We move on.
And here's a high fly ball to right. That one's got a chance. Byers back, turns around at the wall, and it's gone.
There's going to be some trash talk. They're not going to be happy about the home run. Bear in mind, warnings are in place, but ejections still have to meet the same bar.
Apparently said something to the Blue Claws dugout because they...
Which brings out the manager again. But at a certain point, you have to move on, and the umpire is saying, we gotta go. The penalty, if they don't stop, of course, is an ejection.
He had said something before that because... Actually, he didn't do the safe sign. He put his hands out and then clapped as he crossed home plate.
Celebration versus taunting. Fine line, right? Well, there's the official baseball rule standard, and C2 is a little more strict than that. But in pro ball, yes, you're allowed to celebrate a home run.
Players are kind of yelling or pointing. He must have said something.
This is a standard celebration. There's nothing to do here except keep this in mind for the next day. And speaking of which, here come the fireworks.
Braden Tucker has been the piggyback.
The back and forth chirping starts pretty early with this batter and the pitcher. This is just the 3rd inning, but now we know that it's carrying over.
And he gets hit. Fastball ran inside. Suero not happy. Gilbert Gomez, the manager for...
Very next pitch hits the batter, so we're going to get to 602C9 regarding intentionally throwing out, what to do about that in just a second. But first...
Between these 2 teams, mostly involving Eli Serrano, who ran over Carson DiMartini.
Once the umpires make sure the batter's going to first, the pitcher's not going after the batter, they're going to get together as a crew to discuss, which in a 2-person crew creates a bit of a coverage vacuum for, well, everyone else.
And now Jaden Estanista, who's down by the Blue Claws bullpen, says something to the first base coach Nunez, and the Brooklyn bench has cleared.
Which is what I keep saying about this protocol. You create a coverage vacuum, they're unsupervised, they're going to act like children.
Here comes the Blue Claws bench. They're all running down, congregating behind the bag at first base in foul territory.
Draw the line down the middle. Remember, that is your separation of halves. Get the teams away from each other, and then I guess have another conference about it.
Jaden Estanista, Blue Claws relief pitcher, is standing behind the first base coach.
Remember, they haven't concluded their prior discussion, so they have to discuss both the intentional hit by pitch issue and the benches clearing incident. Add both together, someone's gotta go. And after a long conference, we get...
Now that the umpires are going to walk over and talk to Greg Brodzinski, my guess is they're going to throw Estanista out of this game.
But before we get to the bench clearing, remember we have the hit by pitch to take care of. Umpires go to the manager, who had problems yesterday, to explain the pitcher's gone. This conversation takes a long time.
Went right into the face of... And now Bull's been thrown out of the ball game.
Remember, refusal to stop arguing is your standard for ejection here, and after like 4 minutes of discussion, it gets to be a little long.
What he was initially arguing, my guess is that they should have thrown out Nunez, the first base coach, and Dominic Romero, the base umpire, has had enough.
After more multi-minute arguing, I observed that at all levels of pro, umpires are being a lot more patient this year.
Bull's not done with him. Tatum Littleton, the plate umpire, standing in between Bull and Dominic Romero.
Here's the ejection list from this play, the batter, the pitcher, and this manager who just won't stop arguing.
And, they threw Combs out as well.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, but they just threw him out. They did not throw him out initially.
They did. Batter and pitcher were ejected after the umpire conference manager for excessive arguing. I thought it was pretty well handled. As umpires explained to the other manager what's going on, he's not happy either, so it means they did a good job. All in all, the ejections are pitcher for intent hit by pitch, batter for unsporting conduct, defensive manager for excessive arguing.
You didn't see any indication that there was, repercussions for Combs after that hit by pitch.
Correct.
If anything, super minor cosmetic thing, maybe do the signals for the ejections earlier as soon as you get out of conference rather than waiting a bit. But again, that's super minor because at the end of the day, the situation I thought was handled pretty well.
He had walked 2 guys in the inning. He was
conceded a grand slam. I mean, he was frustrated, but not frustrated in the sense of taking it out on batter. Just stuff was getting away from him.
Right.